Hey, what the hell's going on?
Beautiful.
So I want to start with Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas has found his game this season in let's say, in one avenue of golf, and that's the PGA Tour level golf. His last 11 majors, Patrick, 7 missed cuts, 1 top 10. That top 10 is only top 30 in major championships. This is a guy that we get to Augusta every year and talk about the short game and the shot shapes and all that stuff. Obviously, has won major championships. He's won one style of major championship in his career, a couple of PGAs. Even the second PGA was, I don't want to call fluky, but was a bit random with Mito in 18 at Southern Hills. And even the play previous to that wasn't great at the majors. What's going on with this dude? This was supposed to be one of the generational best players.
I take no joy in this, Shane, but the eye test does not lie with Justin Thomas. He is a phenomenal PGA Tour player, a great PGA Tour player on golf courses where you don't necessarily need to find the fairway consistently. You have a lot of wedges in hand. He's putting the absolute crap out of the golf ball this year, his best putting year ever in his entire career. But major championships ask you to drive the golf ball. And Justin Thomas cannot drive the golf ball right now. Not even in the major championships alone, but look at his play at Quail Hall or Muirfield Village. Also, he shot 80 in the first round and then battled back. Players Championship first round, he shot 78 and then shot the course record the next day. And so I think majors, and you see it with Scottie Scheffler, they really test your floor. Scheffler had no business shooting 71 on Friday, but he scratched and clawed, put together an unbelievable round. Justin Thomas's ceiling is still very high. His floor, unfortunately, I think is still very low, and that comes out in major championships. He's got to change something, though.
Got to change something. I mean, you look through some of these numbers, dude, and you brought up some of the high numbers, but I mean, 76-76 at Oakmont, 73-72 at the PGA, shoot 76 in the third round at the Masters this year. And then you start to dive back like previous seasons when he was really struggling in the majors. And obviously he hadn't been great this year, but the Masters last year, shoots 79 in the second round, misses the cut. US Open, 77 in the opening round. I mean, like, these aren't, he shoots 77 in the final round of the Open Championship last year. Like, and I mean, if you go back, it's even higher. I mean, he
had 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you go back a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, these major rounds are like not even close for JT. And I think you nailed it with the driver, but it's just surprising. You know, you kind of saw him pop on the scene. He's won a lot, you know, like he's one of those guys that gets a lot of victories. And obviously that's dried up the last couple of years, but it is back to the drawing board for him. I don't know if it's, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this. It's not really my domain. Like, does he need to find a new coach? Does he need a new, a new person on the bag doing that? Obviously he's worked with his dad a long time. I don't know about all that, but it's just, for the talent he has, these numbers are crazy, and the run he's on in the majors is putrid, and it's got to improve. And like you said, he's got to find more fairways and find a way to drive the golf ball.
Yeah, I think last year's Open was Justin Thomas in a nutshell. 68, 78, 67, 77. And I think he shot 45 on that front 9 in the second round also. Yeah, I'm not in the consulting business anymore, so I'm not going to talk about the hiring and the firing that needs to be done at Thomas Incorporated, but I think Minister is like one of the best on the PGA Tour, so I'm not sure that's quite it either.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Call Brian maybe and see his thoughts are. Our new CEO, see if he's got thoughts on JT. All right, next subject here, Bryson DeChambeau, and I think we talked about this after. I believe we talked about it after the PGA, the iron play. Total strokes gain in his last 6 major rounds. It's been a little better. I mean, he's gained almost 2 shots in 1 round with the iron play. Outside of that, it's losing shots a lot of the time. Got new irons in the bag this past week, obviously at Oakmont, shot 1 million. Listen, you talk about eye test with this guy. The driver is otherworldly, right? We're seeing this guy that's doing something with the driver. The fact that he hits it as straight as he does off the tee is incredible, but it feels like once he finds the fairway, there's one gear. And I go back to like Rory a few years ago with the wedges. You know, it didn't seem like he had another play outside of just full gas. I think about DJ in kind of the height of power of DJ, when he couldn't quite figure out the irons and the short irons. It just feels like every swing from Bryson is full bore. And the weird thing is, Patrick, when you watch him on like YouTube and he does all the kind of goofy challenges, he's capable of like taking speed off these shots. I wonder if that's something he needs to start to rethink in terms of the way he hits the irons in these big events, because that's kind of what's holding him back right now.
Yeah, it is. It has to be so infuriating. Also, well, one, fun to play golf like Bryson DeChambeau, just hitting driver 350 everywhere. But then walking up to your ball and being like, oh gosh, now I have to hit a wedge. Are you kidding me? I don't want to do this.
This isn't fun.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, when he's going on his YouTube, he has the clock. He's talking about going 10 o'clock. He's going to take a little bit off this. He has all the numbers. It's kind of like that Phil interview with Faraday back in the day where, he knows the dew on the ground is going to add 3, take a little spin off. That's kind of like Bryson in his YouTube videos where he's thinking through everything, and it sounds fantastic. But you look at the golf courses where his iron play has struggled, it's real shot maker type golf courses. And you got to be a shot maker at Open Championships. He has struggled outside that one at St. Andrews where it was wide open, no wind, can really do anything around that place that week. But Augusta National, the iron play has lagged, and it's been very impressive that he's contended in spite of that. And then this year at Oakmont too, the iron play wasn't great, but he just didn't drive the ball well enough this week, I felt, to really be in the mix at the U.S. Open.
All right, next one for you. Did the Masters playoff loss kill the soul of Justin Rose? Have you looked at the way Justin Rose has played since Augusta?
I have not. How bad?
It's not just bad. It's like enormous rounds posted.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah,
I mean, he finished T42nd at the Heritage, played fine. Truist Championship, he shoots 77 in the second round, WD. PGA Championship, 76-75, misses the cut. Shot 80 in the third round at the Memorial. Missed the cut in Canada, and then 77-77. Couple of hockey sticks. Shout out Stanley Cup in Florida at the U.S. Open. So no finishes in the top 40 since his playoff loss, and both of those finishes are what? Are those no cut events? Or I guess Memorial, there's a cut. I mean, like, this is a guy that I think was kind of a lock on the European Ryder Cup team, and now you're sitting there going, do you want him on the team?
Yeah, now we got RNP contending at the U.S. Open, trying to take that spot from him. That is bad. He's down to 140 in data golf as the world number 23.
Wow.
That's got to be one of the largest spreads, I'm guessing, that they have. I can't imagine anyone's bigger than that. At the PGA Championship, Shane, I was following, it was John Rahm, Patrick Reed, and Justin Rose, and John Catlin came up, and he brought up the Masters to Justin Rose. And it was one of those things where you kind of cringe, you look away, but you're still listening.
You want to say this? Yeah.
You're still listening. And he was like, dude, I was rooting for you so bad. Like, fantastic play. Oh my God, you were so close. You almost won the Masters. Like, how crazy is that, Justin? You almost won. And Rose was like, thanks, man. Like, yeah. Okay. And he just kept on talking about it. Like, they were waiting on the tee, and he's like, oh my God. And Rory dumped it in the bunker there and regulate. I'm like, there's no freaking way this guy's talking like this right now. I'd be so livid if I was Justin Rose. So I think it's only human nature to have a little bit of a down spell after coming so close to a championship like that. But honestly, before this conversation, I did not know how bad it was. But that group this week at Oakmont had zero mojo at all. That was just all-time bad vibes between Lowry, Rory, and Jay Rose.
I mean, honestly, like, the most fun they had was when Lowry picked the ball up, and they were all just like yucking it up. Like, that was like the lone time where it felt like anybody was having any fun in that group. Jay Rose, by the way, now 9th on the Ryder Cup rankings. I also wonder, that the Sergio quotes, I think it was after the PGA when he was asked about, getting picked for the Ryder Cup team, and he goes, I'm not playing well enough. Like, I would decline the pick. I'm also wondering that about Justin Rose, because I'm assuming, when you kind of look at the parallels of the season pre-Augusta and after, I mean, top 3 at Pebble, top 10 at Bay Hill, obviously makes the playoff at the Masters. It's like this guy's a shoe-in, right? I mean, you're going to get the veteran presence on the team. Luke Donald's absolutely going to pick him. And now I even wonder if Justin Rose, considering how much respect these European players have for the Ryder Cup and the Ryder Cup team specifically, I wonder if he even says, pick me, if his game is this lost, because he is in the weeds, man. I mean, those numbers are very, very bad. Just a couple more for you. Patrick Cantlay, or what are we doing here with him? Like,
he's so unserious.
Unserious golfer. Okay. I mean, I don't need a lot. I'm just asking you if this is this where we're at? This feels like a golf course. Oakmont feels like a perfect Patrick Cantlay golf course.
Yeah, I got to give a tip of the cap to David Gordon. He just absolutely hates Patrick Cantlay on the SVP pod, calls him Fraudley. The nickname doesn't even make sense, honestly. Patrick like Fraudley. It was just like so forced.
Yeah.
But yeah, tough for Cantlay. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he cares either at this point. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it.
Ludwig, also one of those players that's like, it's just not there right now. And I mean, might be like the little, I guess you could call it a sophomore slump or something for Ludwig. Obviously a ton of talent, but been in the weeds as well. You know, I mean, it's just strange to see certain players right now. You know, I mean, Scotty's there every week. Rory's kind of been whatever the heck's going on with Rory following the Masters. But some of these top 5, top 10 players, like, look at the names we've talked about. Justin Thomas, nowhere near contention at these major championships. Cantlay, a player that's been hanging around. You know, Morikawa's been relatively unimpressive this season as well. Did not play well on a golf course. I think fit him extremely well. And then you've got Ludwig, who every golf course you show up, you're like, well, this has got to fit his game perfectly. And the game's just not quite there. I know he's been dealing with some health stuff too.
Yeah, I followed that first round of his because I think he was winning this golf tournament at one point, right? He birdied his first 2 holes out of the gate on 10 and 11 and then missed the cut. But there were a lot of, and I've said before, I think Joe Skovron has the best job in professional golf. He's just playing Tiger Woods 2008 pretty much with him. Yeah. Just point, shoot, let me use the joystick to spin it back for you. And Ludwig made 5 bogeys, I think, in his first round. All 5 were just horrible misses. I'm talking short-sided with wedges to pins running away from you. And it's just like, that is the big X in your yardage book on that shot. And he just found all of them right now. So I think maybe some course management stuff. And you got to remember, this was only his second U.S. Open.
Yeah.
So still, of course, plenty of time to improve on picking apart golf courses. But I think there's some course management stuff in there.